So, back in the old day, I never really used Revenant so frequently, mainly because back in the day, I do not know how to use him. But now, I try to implement what I know in the game and try to use Revenant again. And I really like to use him right now. To put it simple, I may even become a Revenant main, I guess. Now, you might be wondering that what could Revenant become? Revenant cannot be like Wukong, which is so versatile in every mission, because Wukong can dominate every mission by its own kit. But Revenant, his kit actually use it in another way, of course. And what I can tell is that while I play Revenant can become immortal and become powerful at the same time, of course with a little bit of help. That's why in this video I will share with you my own Revenant build. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Now, for my Revenant build here, I decided to get rid of his 4th ability, which is Danse Marcabre. Why I need to get rid of that ability? Well, first off, Danse Marcabre can deal high damage against enemies, but there's a few problems here. I'm afraid that when I go into Steel Path, the damage it can skills are not quite enough to redo in those kind of contents. And what happens is that it can also drain a lot of energy at once. So it's really hard for me to balance out the strength and energy efficiency at the same time. That's why I think that I will take off this ability and go with something else. But what ability should I go for? Let's take a step backward first. We could see that I will use first, second, and third ability a lot more. But Reave are not entirely too frequent compared to my first and second. Then let's take a look at Enthrall first. For Enthrall, we'll be able to convert one enemies into our allies, but not entirely an allies because you actually manage to miskill your own allies. That's why it's a little bit hard for us to really stack up those Enthrall's unit. Because of that reason, I realized that I need a way to make my Enthrall units being invincible from my damage, otherwise it will be hard for me. That's why, among all the abilities, I realized that I need to use Nyx's helmet ability, Mind Control. For most of you that might not know about this, if you cast Mind Control before you enthrall the specific unit, then not only it will become allies due to Mind Control, but we will also inherit the enthrall properties because you enthrall on it, so that it will become a unit that not only invisible to your damage, but also able to enthrall the other's units. That is what I was looking for. But why work so hard for trying to maintain all those Thrall? Thanks to the Augment Thrall Pact. Because if you get one Enthrall unit, you will increase your primary weapon damage. So the more Enthrall unit you have, the more damage your primary weapon have. Because of this, I want to use this to make sure that I can skill so heavily from my primary weapons in order for me to do heavy damage. I don't rely on my abilities instead for my primary weapons, so this could be the best way for me to stack those damage. Of course, this damage will stack additively, so you might need to balance out your damage for your primary weapons. The first ability, Enthrall, with the Augment Enthrall Pact, allow us to cover the damage problem, which can increase the primary weapon damage. But what about our survivability? That is where the second ability, Mesmer Skins, comes by. When Revenant casts Mesmer Skin, it will gain charges which can reflect all those damage and any status chance when those enemies hit you. Not only you will be being invulnerable for around 1 second, but the enemies will also get stunned for a few moments of time. When you cast Enthrall on those enemies, you will able to enthrall them without using any energy. Mesmer Skin is so useful that not only allow us to be invincible because it will reflect all damage, but what's so interesting is that it can allow us to immune a lot of stuff. As long as you have Mesmer Skin activated, not only you being invulnerable for a long time, you can also immune to any status problems. That is so good for you. And for his third ability, Reave, Reave allows Revenant to charge through enemies with a sentient energy, I guess, which can drain a percentage value of health and heal himself up. Which means by no matter how high or how low the enemy levels are, you will always guarantee to drain a percentage of the maximum value. This will be useful if you can drain a large amount of health at once. But be aware, the value that shows on the list here is actually for Enthrall's units only. If you try to use it on neutral enemies, it will be 1/5 of the values here. based on the explanation of the abilities I will be using. So in this build, I will be using Blind Rage and Bulk Augment only in order to increase my strength up to a total of 259. The reason why I'm going with this kind of value is that Reave will be able to reach around 100% of health drain, which around 250% strength. So I want to cap out at that value, and Blind Rage with Bulk Augmented already quite enough for me to go that value. For my energy problem, I go with Prime Flow, Streamline, and Arcane Energize. This should be enough for me to go for a long run without casting too many times and reduce my energy to the low value. Thrall Pact, obvious reason, I need to use this one. And the increasement will also scale with the ability strength, so no problem. I'm using just only Prime Continuity and Constitution to increase my ability duration. Your Constitution can go with Augur Message, but that's your choice. And finally, for my X-Plus slot, I'll be using Speed Drip alongside with Natural Talent. Because without casting speed, Revenant Mesmer skin casting animation can a little bit too long for us, so I need to cut down that casting animation to as fast as possible. That's why both Natural Talent and Speed Drip will be used here. And for your aura slot, you can go whatever you want. Because it's a Naramon, I'm using Corrosive Projection, but you can use something like Holster M or other things as well. And there you have it, my Revenant build. I really think that this kind of build not only allow Revenant to be immortal, as well as the Augment allow Revenant to have high damage for its primary weapon. You can go with whatever you wanted to, but it should be for primary weapons only. Nevertheless, this should be allow me to play Revenant not only being immortal, but also deal heavy damage to the enemies. I really like this build because it really shows that Revenant can be a strong frame. Maybe I would like to use him for a long time. So, enjoy! If this is your first time watching, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss out any newest content from me. Why not leave your comment down below if you got any ideas or thought you want to share with all of us. And that is from me, and as always, I will see you all next time. Bye bye!